Thanks to a narcissist wife, my father thinks I'm the reason that he's in a home and not dying in his home. I'm the only one who advocated, really, for him to stay at home and tried to make that happen for real. I don't understand why they've done this. It doesn't make sense to me except on a malice level. I don't want to take that in as the narrative, but it's the only conclusion I can come up with. I don't know if there's money motivation. I don't know.
This is a hospital bed at a hospice where he did not want to end up. And there was no reason, absolutely no reason at all, regardless of any of it, why he could not stay at home and pass away at home as he wished to do. And that was his final wish. And he is devastated and heartbroken that that did not happen. There was plenty of family, myself, my kids, and the possibility to hire a nurse because it was like $50 an hour. That's not even that much. He worked for 35 years of his life. That's his money. He should be able to have his end of a life at home comfortably, the way he wanted to do it. Not her way, his way.
Yeah, that's probably true, honey. It's probably true. But we're always together. We're always together. There's no time where we won't be together. Those damned hiccups, eh? I love you so much. I was trying to get there today so you wouldn't have to come here. Did you fall? Is that what happened? Did you?
No, I was in bed.
Yeah. Basically, the gist of the story is my dad wanted to die at home. He had two wishes on his deathbed for his death. One is that my mother be taken care of and that he didn't have to worry about her, that she was situated. So that got done, at much to his energy being completely depleted, by the way. Moves that should have been done by movers, not by my brother and my mother and some freaking 7-year-old people in the building, early instead of later, and with some weird restrictions on themselves, well, not themselves, herself, where I think she found joy in not letting me know things so that I looked like a freaking asshole. Like, for instance, them starting to do that move faster or whatever. She didn't call me and tell me that. My brother called me overwhelmed and whatever at whatever time the next day. It was almost the end of day. I went there in the evening like I planned to do, but it was a day early. And I was like, I don't understand why you guys were moving. But anyways, that gets done, and then my father's energy was completely depleted. He ended up going into hospital again for a second time. This was at a hospice, though, the same place he's dying in right now. And he didn't want to be there. And I was mad at my mother. And I told her, I will be with him. I will stay with him. What do you think dying is? You think it's like a pleasant experience? It's not. He's going to have issues. But if he needs to be monitored and medicine and all that, I will do that for him. That's no problem, okay? That's basic. I will do that. Of course I will. That's why I live in this shithole house that I live in for so long. I stayed close for that particular reason. So I know that when he was in the hospice last time, he wanted out, and I had to do everything in my power to convince her to get him out. She wanted to look good, so she made it seem like, you know, first she was trying to make it seem like he was going crazy. He wasn't. I know exactly what he was talking about when he said the place looked like a hotel room. It's because it does. And then, like, he was cognizant the entire time. The guy had his wits about him, okay? Like, he knew what the hell was going on most of the time, okay? Unless he was, like, sleeping. But, like, any normal person is exactly what would be happening. And the bottom line is she stuck him in this place. He didn't want to go there. He didn't want to go there, and she stuck him in this place. And first she said that I threatened her life so that I would not be able to go to the house and deal with him there. So that happens. And then she did keep him for 2 more days. And then after that, she shoves him off in an ambulance right before I'm trying to get there, because I know that for some reason I felt the urge I needed to call there. And I asked her about what time she was going to be, or how it looked for him and stuff. And she told me a lie. First of all, she said there was no rooms at the hospital. So she was lying about that. She lied to my daughter, said to my daughter that he fell, and he didn't. She lied to my brother about all kinds of stuff. And then she shoved him in this place. I've lost, like, contact with my brother over this. I've lost people in my family. I'm certainly not getting anything. I didn't get nothing. I was supposed to have a car and, like, money when whatever. It's not coming. I don't care. The bottom line is, I was trying to protect my father. And this woman did everything in her power to shove him off and make it look like she's the kind and doting wife. She's not. She's not. She's a liar, and she's a narcissist, if not a sociopath, because there's other stuff she was doing too with medication that depleted his energy. And I'm telling you right now, she broke the law, if nothing else. Never mind loyalty to her husband. She sucked the life out of him on purpose. I guarantee it. I don't know exactly what the motivation is for this, but the woman, I believe in my heart, is homicidal to a dying man. Go figure. When my dad was thrown into the ambulance, he was so upset by this event that it literally almost killed him on the way, that they called us and told us, come now, he's going to die. So now I'm alarming my son, because it wasn't like that 10 minutes ago. And I'm alarming my son, myself. We are all scrounging up money because it's like $70 to get there by Uber, and I don't have a car. And all of this stuff to try and go and see him so that we make sure that he's not alone when he dies. All of this taking place when I had been on the phone with the nurse that day, and his concerns have nothing to do with him falling. Nobody said a fucking word about that. Okay? He was concerned about him getting medicine overnight through liquid, because they obviously are too stupid to put an IV in, and nobody wants to spring for the palliative care, the hospice care, which, by the way, he should have gotten. It would have only been a few days. It didn't have to be around the clock. If she wasn't comfortable with people being there, first of all, I never threatened her life. Okay? That's just bottom line, simple, plain and simple. It didn't happen. It didn't freaking happen. Okay? She's an 80-year-old woman in a freaking wheelchair. And by the way, if I threaten your life, you're done. I'm not going to say something like that and not follow through with it. All right? That's the bottom line. I don't say things like that to people. Even to the people who murdered my fiance and my dog, I didn't say that to. So come on now. Anyways, that being said, my mother went on and on about whatever the heck she's going on about to whomever will listen. And my father ended up believing, I believe, in the end, that I was the reason that he was there. That because I didn't follow through with my promise to him, and my promise to him was to keep him at home and do whatever it took to make sure that his wishes were absolutely first. He was always thinking of her first and everybody else first, but it was my job to think of him first in that time. And I agreed to that. And we had plans of things we were going to do. And there is proof on here about his energy levels being decreased at certain times. He wasn't like that from one day to the next in other places. When he was in the hospice the time before, which was only literally a couple of weeks in between, and it was a weird energy drop. It didn't make sense. I started thinking she was playing with his pills, and I believe to this day I'm right. I know I'm right. She wasn't giving him the proper pills for digestion, and she wasn't giving him the proper pills for indigestion, and she was messing with likely an anti-nauseant in correspondence with his other pills, which would have affected him greatly, like a geriatric keep him in bed and don't move pill type of shit. Those are the last days of his life. Those are the last days where he needs to think and come away with ideas about accepting his death and accepting his life and making amends with whatever and talking to people and finishing up things so that people will remember him. Things that he would need to put in order. But nope, she was put in order, so everything was done. As long as she's okay, that's all right, then everything is fine. I have half a mind to make sure she doesn't get to stay in that apartment. And if actually that's what I'm going to do, I'm going to make sure that the woman who literally shouldn't, she had to rely on him for everything. He couldn't even come to my house.
It's nighttime.
And now she's fine. She's going to live there by herself as if.
Did she not come today? She was supposed to come today, right? It's already nighttime. It's almost like tomorrow already. We left well way after dinner. She would have already been here already. I was told she was coming this afternoon.
It's absolutely tragic to just leave him there like that. You're his wife. He wants to be with you. He wants to be next to you and in his own home. What's worse is to just tell him you're coming and then don't. She was doing that before. She said something like it was going to be this hour. She made it seem like he was trying to be more confused than he was, and it wasn't like that. And I know because I had talked to her myself, and she's just made him look crazy.
All right, forward.
It literally killed him that he wasn't next to her, that he wasn't in the house, that he wasn't in where he was comfortable. His level of disappointment makes my heart bleed. It hurts so much. It hurts so much. The level of empathy I feel for this man it's debilitating.
You're my favorite person.
You've done my mom and our family an amazing service.
Best girl
We love you very much.
Best girl ever.
If I had known how all this was going to go, I would have had him come and live with me. That's what I would have done. He would have fought me tooth and nail. But if I could have showed him the future and then had that, he would have said yes.
Close to me, that will be your bravery, and I will make sure that you depart this world safely, even though I don't wanna let you go, I don't wanna let you go. Let you go, no, I don't wanna let you go, but I know I have to let you so. I have to let you go. If I don't let you go, I'll keep you here, trapped between these worlds. I'm coming soon.
After this, after she didn't show up that day, that's when she had talked to him. Before that, whatever she told him, I don't know. But after this day, he never spoke to me again. He hated me since then. Like, he literally hated me.
I don't wanna let you go. I know today's the day that you're gonna have to leave. You're gonna go away. You're gonna leave this hurt. You're gonna leave this place, and you will be in His grace, yeah. Oh, don't wanna let you go. Don't wanna let you go. Don't wanna let you go. I don't wanna let you go, but I gotta let you go. I gotta let you soar. I gotta let you soar. Gotta let you soar through the heavens now. I gotta let you soar. I gotta let you go. Yeah, yeah. Even though I don't want to let you go.
Leave everything.
You made a mistake. Tell me things that can't be true.
Leave everything. Leave everything.
Dad, I think somebody told you some lies. I do. I don't want to agitate you. I think you were lied to. I did nothing wrong. I haven't hurt anybody. I didn't threaten Nana. Just go, please.
Let me get a way to prove what she did, though, and she'll spend the rest of her life in freaking jail. I guarantee you that much.
What did they tell you, Dad? So we're back at Riverview. She just couldn't wait. You know, I phoned there at 1 o'clock this afternoon, and I was ready to go. I was like, Mom, I'm on my way. And she just couldn't do it. So she made up some excuse of him falling or some crazy thing. And if he did fall, the only reason he fell is because she told him he was coming here, and he got agitated. You know, there was options. There was me, there was his grandkids, and all of us were willing to stay with him. All of us. All day, all night. In fact, we were going to keep vigil regardless, and she just couldn't do it. Just couldn't. So against his wishes, and yet with all the support on earth, she just made him come here. You know, he worked 35 years. And in that 35 years, he never asked for a thing. He didn't ask her to work. He didn't ask for anything. And she can't, if she wasn't comfortable with me or the kids or whatever going there and staying there overnight, you can't spring for a nurse for 24 hours. She should be ashamed of herself. And everyone needs to know what my mother's about. It's ridiculous.
Now, at this time, this is after I had been to her apartment, his apartment, their apartment. This was the last time I stayed overnight. I'm sure she just put an end to that because I was asking questions, serious questions, about the level of neglect that he was facing. Because I saw
Not
it with
neglect,
my own eyes.
the level of tampering.
There was something wrong.
Because things
And
were
when I
full that
confronted her
shouldn't have been
about
full.
the enzymes and the meals and
stuff was hidden.
whatever else, she just brought into
She was
"You're that
running in there,
mom,"
and she
then
was upset
started
about stuff she
finding all
shouldn't have
these
been upset
triggers
about.
for
It was
whatever.
weird.
And she is acting like a Karen. She's backing up. I didn't say anything to her. Then I find out later that my brother told my daughter that she told him that I threatened to kill her.
So he said his last fall was a couple of days ago, and he said it was like a fall from bed, and he kind of like slumped down onto his bum, and that was the last fall that he knew of, that Richard knew of.
Okay,
So I don't know. Yeah, so
Now, it's quite obvious that the only way to get into a nursing home quick is to fall.
The last couple days,
So
he
that's what
had
happens.
been basically just in bed was what he had told us. He just had been too weak to get up. So.
My mother's been holding us away from going
I'm sorry.
there.
Yeah.
And his wishes weren't to be here. 2 days before. This is like, okay. You didn't. Because I was willing to go there and stay the night, and the kids were willing to go too.
Yeah. I know. I remember him saying, "Is your daughter? Her name is Stephanie." Yeah. I remember him saying like wonderful things about her. Yeah.
Yeah, he really.
Yeah.
really-
She seemed to be
done a lot.
his pride and joy a bit. Yeah.
She's a really good
Yeah.
kid. She's
Yeah.
done a lot. But yeah, so we weren't able to be in attendance. But I don't know. I was told he had hours to live.
Yeah. I know when he first came in,
Like an
maybe
hour?
the
Like,
transport
they were just, like-
was tough.
Because he didn't want to be here. That's
Yeah,
why.
because he seems. I like sat with him for a little while in there, and we just chatted. Because he remembered me from last time. Because I took care of him a bunch and chatted to him. So.
This is against his wishes. I don't know why she did this.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You know, he never asked for anything. He looked after everybody, and he never asked for anything. I don't know why she did this.
I guess the one good thing is you can see him here. Like at least you get to be part of. Yeah.
But she told my other daughter that he fell today, and so she's been very worried. Yeah, but he didn't. I knew he didn't.
Not that I.
No.
No.
So yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's good.
Home care kind of just said that.
Yeah,
it was
because
getting
Richard
tough.
called. Because I talked to him earlier.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He said there was a bed for him, and he said there wasn't a bed. It's
Yeah.
And furthermore, knowing that I didn't say I was going to kill her because she's lying and she knows that to everybody, for safety's sake, if he's got his legs up on the wall and he's that bad off, why not call me? I live a block away.
I hadn't talked to my mom in a couple of days because last time I had been there, she told me that she was going to phone security on me. And the reason why she said that was because she
was not feeling good about the fact that I was asking her about pills and why he was the way he was. And she knows damn well that she was doing something funky. And I don't know what Richard advocated for her, what was seen as, normal protocol, or, what you can and cannot do for somebody like that. But in all honesty, he was fit as a fucking fiddle, really. And I don't mean like great or anything. What I mean is for his condition when he was released, and like within a few weeks. And this might sound even normal, but it wasn't, because it was not even in a few weeks. Like December 11th was his birthday. And you'll see there's a phone call he has the day before, and then his birthday happens, and then boom, all of a sudden, he's lethargic, he's asleep constantly. And that's because she's giving him pills. I know it is. And not giving him the correct pills, and not giving him food, and stopping me from going there during the times where he would be eating, or he would be social, or he would have any interaction time. She refused to let me be there at a decent hour, and then was even stopping me from being there overnights, probably making it seem to everybody that I wasn't showing up.
It just bloody occurred to me. Richard had said that it just had recently changed, that his pain medication had to be done in a liquid form because his pills couldn't swallow anymore. Well, she can't give him the pills that make him lay in the bed and not move if he can't swallow them. So that's why she ended up throwing him in that freaking ambulance and getting rid of him. I can't believe this woman. It's all making sense.
And I promised,
what a horrible human
being, no matter
being.
what happens,
holy shit,
I would make sure that was something that would occur. And I told him, do not let them get you back into this place, because I can't get you home again. So I know that was her draw. She was trying to say that he was talking insane and being, not with it, when he was with it the last time he was in Riverview. Saying, he thinks he's in a hotel or whatever. He was suggesting that the room appeared to look like a hotel. And I know exactly what the context was, because I'm the one that brought it up. So he was saying the same things, and I know what he was talking about. And when she said that to me, I knew right away that she was trying to make him seem crazy, because she would have known damn well what he was talking about. But she didn't want to appear that she didn't want to deal with him in front of Linda, her friend. She wanted to seem like the doting, caring wife that had it all under control and whatever. Because my mom is all about control and appearing to be the martyr and the good person and everything that's great. Far be it from her to need help from her delinquent daughter, that she wants to keep that narrative going on. And until the very end, she destroyed every aspect of reality and every plausible help and situation that my father could have had to make his health better. She hung up the phone. She got mad at me. You have no idea how mad she got when I would bring up things like the nano knife or the fenbendazole or Dr. Yu or the low dosage chemotherapy. So angry. And then pretended in a conversation later I had with her that I didn't even bring it up at all. For 3 months, I was begging them, please. And it was her that was convincing him not to do these things. I think in my mind, and I know this, I think she wanted him gone. And I think she enjoys him not being there. I think she enjoys me not being around. And I think that's a horrible, horrible, horrible end of life for my father, and story for me and a woman who adopted me and wanted me so very badly and could do nothing more than get rid of me for the entire time since I was 10 years old. And at the end, my father hated me. She won. I don't know what the prize was, but she won. And that's the truth of it. She risked everything and took everything away from him. His dignity, his last wish, for no other reason than her own selfish, narcissistic, sadistic, evil. I don't know if there was revenge plotted on it or what. But she did those things. And the reason why she told my brother I was threatening to kill her was because I had asked her about pills. And she was scared that she was going to get caught doing what she was doing. Because she had been caught. Because I never said that. And then after that, it was upped the ante. The game was on. Now it's like, I'm going to do this and tell those types of stories so that there's no way that Sherry can come back in here and he's got to get out of here. And if you think she's the loving, doting wife, you're very wrong.
It just occurred to me that she might have been panicking.
Why would a daughter feel
and
this
making
way?
sure that he got to the
There's
hospice.
no reason. I've lost
because
everything. I've lost everyone in my
otherwise there would be
family,
an
every
autopsy
dollar,
perhaps because he
everything
died
over
at
this.
home.
And the last part of my father's life. I had nothing to gain from
Interesting.
lying to anyone.
I wonder if that was
Nothing
the
to
panic
gain from
about it
exposing her
because
to anything.
she knew the
in
end was
fact,
very
I've
near.
lost everything in the front of doing it.
Huh.
So
Makes
tell
sense.
me why. She always stated that he didn't look after her the way she wanted him to. This woman who gave him nothing. No sex, no love, no admiration, no gratitude, ever. That's Marlene Chalmers. And he doted and loved her till the very bitter end. And I couldn't bear to tell him the truth because if I had, it would have broken the only reason he lived. So I let myself be the hated person. And that hurts because he was my best friend and I loved him and I know he loved me. And she destroyed every aspect of my entire relationship with my father, the most important person in my life. And that's not okay. What's moreover is not okay is she did not respect his wishes. And I was told, Sherry, stop telling him about treatments and all. It makes him upset. Respect his last wishes. That's important. So I gave up saving his life for respect. And they put him there in his end of life out of disrespect. A lie of a marriage and a lie of a woman. And I even tried to elevate her. I even tried to pretend. I made this song about how much she loved and what they went through and all this stuff. And it was just such bullshit. And trying to give them a way to connect at the end, to get them closer to one another. And she told me to turn it off. She didn't need that right now. That's the kind of person my mother is.
No, she's not. It's nighttime. It's nighttime. Did she not come today? She was supposed to come today, right?
Showing yourself to you.
It's already nighttime. It's almost like tomorrow already. We left well way after dinner. She would have already been here already. I was told she was coming this afternoon too. Are you sure she didn't already come to see you?
The few times that she did come and visit him, I can just imagine how much his heart broke when she left. Or when any of us did. And he was there by himself. It just breaks my heart.
Alright, we'll wait.
I love you, Dad. You're a good dad.
We all love you very much.
So thankful to have you. To have had all this time. You're my favorite person.
You've done my mom and our family
Like awesome.
an amazing service.
Best grandmother. It's nighttime, Dad. Like it's nighttime. It's like nighttime, Dad.
Now this is where it becomes obvious that they've already had dialogue, and he blames me for being there, that I didn't come through for him. And this is when, like, him and her have already spoken, obviously. So this is like not the first day that he's been in. And yeah. This is when I knew that my dad hated me. And he didn't talk to me ever since that day. When I had the falling out with my mother when she returned home from the hospital the last time, when she had been in from having seizures and falling because she did not pay attention to her infection or her health, she told me clearly that she would make it so that I would have nothing in the end. And I said, all I care about is that I'm here for my dad. So I guess she decided she'd deal with that too. This is what she looked like when I gave him presents. This was her face. I happened to catch it on his birthday. When she attacked me verbally, when she had come home from the hospital last time, and she knew what she was doing, she did it very meticulously. Her nurse stuff was in place and coming within a few minutes, so now she didn't need me anymore. And she was upset because I was covering for my dad while he would go out. And she resented that, so she was pissed. And she didn't act like it at first, but then she turned. And I was showing her pictures of the outside and the rain hitting the leaves and stuff because she didn't get outside for over 4 months. Well, for a long time, but like for sure during the time she was in the hospital. And yeah, she just looked at me and said, I'm sorry we ever took you in. It was better when it was just your brother and me and your dad. And she then went into telling me that she didn't believe me again about my cousin molesting me. And I don't know what the deal is with why she can't believe that. It's ridiculous. It happened. It happened for 6 years. I came forward when I was 10. Get over it, lady. Like, whatever.
You want to try a little bit of this?
When he realized it was me, he bit the sponge and he kind of started to cry a little bit. I wanted so much to find a way to get my mom there. I'm so angry at her. I'm so angry at her. I can't even stop being angry at her. I never in a million years thought my dad's exit from this world would be so cold.
They told you.
Nothing was done for him. There were options, treatment options, lots of them.
It's called gaslighting.
He never even got a chance. Nobody rallied for him or put anything into any type of even questions for a doctor. My dad didn't even talk to a doctor. Do you know that he made his decision to not do chemo based on the fact that they lost his results or didn't do the test properly and had to redo them? And that daunted him so much that he just decided, forget it. I don't even want to deal with it.
There is nothing worse in the world than being
Partly
blamed
that's
for
my
something
fault
you
too,
didn't do.
because
That is literally super important.
I was frustrated with him
and
because
something
he
you
was
would
telling me
never
all
do.
these things that were going
I
on.
would
but he
never
didn't
not be there
listen
for my dad.
to
I would
any of
never not
the
be there for my dad.
narrative about anything that was going on with any kind of
It was
advancement.
pushed away. It kept away.
I was gaining information slowly.
On the
not all
advice
at
of my
once, and
mother
it's not like I could present
and
everything
my
all
dad
of it was
being worried that
nonsense.
I would end
at
up
one time.
And this is
taking
the way
his
he
car
treated
for
me
some
up until
reason.
the day he died.
I gathered
From that
as
point
much
on,
as I could, and
from when he said that.
They
explained
took me
as
off
much as
of
I could.
the
Other
medical
video.
aspect,
This is it.
my name
This is
completely,
responsibility.
and
I
I
do that.
He
was
didn't
not
want me to
allowed to
comfort
talk to
him.
doctors
He didn't
anymore.
want
They
me to
wouldn't
help
give me
to
any
do that.
information.
Nothing.
I was waiting for us
At
to
this
get
point
into
in
the
time,
time
too,
we
it
had
was like
on
so many
And that's
decisions
not
have been
fair.
made
with the doctor.
adversely and to his
In a way
demise
from people
that
naysay.
doctors weren't even involved
Because he
anymore.
had
There
enough
just wasn't
naysay.
anybody
My
there
dad
to
was a
talk
very
to.
negative thinker.
But
And
the
this
few
was
times
not
I did
serving him.
get a hold of people,
But knowing
I did
that
get
and
results and I
knowing
did
that
get things
pancreatic cancer
together,
patients
but
and the brain and the depression
I was told
are imminent.
over and over again to leave it by my family.
It's going to be a side effect. Plus what he was
And so
on.
now, even when it was just viable treatment options, things about his actual care, not about anything that had to do with extra treatment or helping him to survive. But even that, my hands were tied, and I was yelled at and told and hung up on the phone. It was awful. It was awful. I would send letters and they would say, oh, okay, good, that's good. We'll just end that. She would put it away and I would just be like patronized. I was patronized by everybody.
And his wife. And mostly by his wife. Because she made the act for caring for my dad literally impossible. Literally impossible. And how dare she do it after all he's done for her?
Idiot not to know that, but the thing is that really cause more problems than what you have now. And like the electric car, like those batteries, when they release them out, there's problems, so many problems with what happens
Okay,
with
but
that
they're
stuff.
going to change that. That technology will change how they're making a battery.
I don't know how.
I researched the crap out of terminal cancer
out of pancreatic cancer, out of all this stuff. I came up with so many things this family rejected over and over and over again. These things on this paper even are a list of stuff that comes from our own guidelines. And like my dad was taken off the dexamethasone, which is a steroid, which would have increased his energy. And it's weird because like all of a sudden he's being taken off of this stuff. He's a terminally ill patient. He shouldn't have been taken off of it. My brother should have been advocating for that. My mother should have been advocating for that. He would have been less depressed if he was on methadone instead of fentanyl. I didn't know he was even on fentanyl. They told me he was on methadone. I'm like, this doesn't make sense. He doesn't act like that's what he's on. And finally, the truth comes out somewhere. They just didn't give a fuck. That's what happened. It just basically came down to that.
And offered
He was
help
complaining the whole time. I'm so sad, he would say. I'm so sad. I don't know what to do about it.
Finding out of something like the nano knife, like the low dose.
There was things that could have been done that could have helped. And there was things that she should have been asking for, doing, and not stopping, and all kinds of stuff. And she stopped me from being what I needed to be for my dad. My brother stopped me from being the things I needed for my dad. They were talking to him. He got convinced of all kinds of crazy shit.
And like literally all
people
of them
just
had way less
beaking
side
off
effects
and not knowing what the hell they're talking about. I'm not an idiot, and I loved my father.
In some
and the
ways,
bottom line is, when you love somebody that much, you want the best for them. You want to see
Brendan
their
didn't
end.
have time to look
My
into
dog
nothing.
died better than my dad.
Neither did Stephanie, for that matter.
My dog
and maybe
died
you know
better
that.
than my dad. I felt better
maybe
about
that's why
my
you
dog
put
Nova,
someone like me
which deserved a
in charge,
good
or maybe
death.
that's why
deserved
you
a
would,
dignity.
Facilitate
but my
for
dad
him not to have
died
someone like
in a
this. You know
shitty
damn well,
situation,
if it
in a
is out
shitty
there, I will
hospital
find it.
with shitty fucking
You know damn
everything.
well I will.
And our relationship was sacked.
And everything I sent you, you acted like you never got it.
It was torn apart.
Remember when the day you said you were going to call security on me? The day you destroyed everything. The last time that I went to your house, except for the hour that you graced me while you patted yourself and protected yourself with my child. This is how you triangulate. This is how you get people into your scenario. My girls are not going to look after you, Marlene. You think they will? You can hold the money over their head. They don't care about money. They're about as motivated by money as nothing.
Hello, GI Surgery. Can I help you?
Hi there. My name is Sherry Chalmers. I'm Glenn Chalmers' daughter. He was expecting a call from Dr. McKay today at 1 o'clock, I believe.
1:45.
Oh, it's at 1:45.
Or 1:45. Sorry. It's 3 o'clock now. We're just wondering what's going on.
Yeah. So he's just a little behind right now, but he will call you. Okay. Yeah. Our clinic is really packed. Right?
Understandable. Just as long as we're not forgotten, that's good.
No,
Okay.
you're still on the list. Don't worry.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Well, as long as they know, that's good. At least they're aware.
He's probably seeing his patients because he does operations.
Thank you, Captain Obvious. He's obviously seeing his patients because he's a doctor who does operations. Like, duh.
And he doesn't want evil to control the scenario. See, there's a difference between sinning and evil.
Evil is the thing that's happy when they see that their husband is crying, and yet they continue to socialize like this. Look at you. Just like back in the day, way back in the day, sort of like how it was when you were talking to your friends from church or whatever. Your husband is in turmoil at this moment in time, and you're talking away like it's nothing. Socialize. You're digging this shit. I know you. You didn't go to him. You didn't come. You threw out all the presents I gave him. Then we got him a star. We couldn't even tell him that because you were so bitchy. Me going there, even around Christmas time, before Christmas time. The last Christmas with my father was ruined by you.
The 2 before that were ruined by you as well because I couldn't go. I couldn't go because I was sick of your shit. Because 2 years prior to that, when you got home from the hospital,
My people,
I stopped taking
because of the
your
things
shit.
you
Because
said,
you
I
treated
was
me
punished.
like a piece of crap. But before we get to that, this is the day you said my father fell. I want everyone to look at my dad in this and tell me, does he look like he's getting up to you? I was there that day. The couple of days before when they said that he had this fall onto his bum. He didn't fall on his bum. And the only reason why they would say that is because it's a cushiony area and it's not an incident report. So that means the nurse, is lying too. I don't know what the hell she told him. But if somebody is handling fentanyl, you would like maybe that they are not dishonest with their colleagues. There's something wrong when that's the case. And on top of that, he never mentioned a fall to me at all. My dad was preparing to die. I can see it in him, can you not? This year, he was getting ready to leave. Look at him. That's the death stare. She interrupted this. And it was taking too long.
Not only did she
didn't want
interrupt
an
it,
autopsy.
she
That's what I
told
think.
my
She
brother
didn't
at
want
this
an
time that
autopsy
I had
because
threatened
if
to
she had an
kill
autopsy
her.
done, they would
And then she
see
told
that
my
she was
dad that I
giving
was
him
angry
all
at
those
them,
other
and that's
things.
why I wasn't
doing
coming
something
there.
to
I
keep
wasn't
him there
going
because
there
he
because she
had
was
taken
threatening
away
to
the
call
goal.
security
He
on
had
me last
energy
time I was
and he
there.
was gonna
And I
do
didn't want to
things.
get arrested
He
for
thought
stealing
he
his
was
medicine
deserved it.
because
He
she was
was
trying to
looking
say that she
forward
was
to
missing his
who
meds.
collaborates
She
with
wasn't
her?
missing anything.
I'm sorry, but you
Brennan
don't have a
came
soul.
in, and
Because
then
my father was
that
the
was like
best man that
Dawn
ever
got him
walked the
home,
face
and
of
then
the
Brennan
earth.
came in.
And if you
I don't
think
know
that
what
has
happened
anything to do
between
with her,
that
the only
time
thing it has to do
and
with her is how you
whatever,
took care of
but
her.
he wasn't
That's
like
the
that.
only
Ask
thing
the
it has
people
to
from
do
the
with her.
hospital that he's at
She
now.
was
He
not
was
a good
doing
person.
physio with them in the hallways.
The reason why I stayed
walking
away
around,
and
but,
why you
like,
ruined the last 3 Christmases and I spent
wouldn't
them
slow
by
down like they
myself
were saying. Glenn, you got to be slower.
my
He's
room,
marathon running. He
nobody
found
there,
his place again,
no
and
dinners,
he wanted
no
to do a
nothing,
project
just
for his
me.
grandkids, and he
My
wanted
dad wanting
to
me there
have
was because
some
I couldn't tolerate
quality
you
of
anymore.
life.
The only time I would
And
go
you
and I would
stuffed
see
him in
you
that
is if
bed
he wanted me to.
and
If
told
he
him he
asked me
couldn't
to
leave
come and
it.
look after you, I would've.
Put him in briefs
I would've.
when he didn't need
And
to
when
be
he
doing
got
that.
this
He could still go to the
diagnosis, I
bathroom,
sucked
and if he
it
needed
all
supervision
up.
and
All of
something
it.
did or could have
I sucked
happened,
it up and
I
put
was
on my
trying
big
to
girl
be there
underwear
every single
and I
day.
went
You
over and
kept
I
deterring me
forgot about
and
everything
forcing
you
me to
did.
not
What
be
did
there,
you do, Marlene?
and getting more and more angry
Let's
every
recap
time I
what you
was.
did.
And coming up with more and more
Back
excuses
when you just
and
got
pushing
home,
and
before all
showing
of your
people
stuff was
all kinds of
implemented,
things that
before your
weren't
nurses
true,
were in place,
triangulating,
because now you're very
manipulating,
immobile.
and just
Before
completely
the toilet
making the
stuff was
situation
taken
into
away.
something it
I
wasn't.
was lifting your
How in the
300-pound
hell
ass
am
off
I
the
supposed
toilet,
to
getting you into
guard
bed.
against
Took
that when
hours
it's
to do
so
that because of how you
ridiculous
were.
to even contemplate someone being
I
this
didn't
way?
mind. I would have
First,
done
you
it
got to find out that
100,000
this is
times
actually
if you
going
had asked.
on. And like,
But that
even
one
though I
time
know
go
you're
over when he
crazy,
was
and
going
even
out
though
for
I know you're
breakfast with
fucked in
his
the head,
friends,
and you do these
because he wanted
addictive
to start
things,
doing that
it
more
still is
often.
beyond me.
He
It
didn't
takes
want
me
to
a
feel
minute
bad
to
about
figure
leaving
it
you at
out.
home.
Because I don't automatically go to this place
started
in
out
my
of
head
nowhere.
thinking that you're this
Nowhere.
nuts
I
or
was
this
showing
mean.
you pictures
Because
of
who
the
could be that
backyard
mean?
with the rain
You!
and the water coming down on the green foliage with some nice music.
This
playing,
particular
because you
day that
hadn't
we're
gotten
looking at
outside
right
in a long
now.
time, and you had been in the hospital for 3 months.
Isn't it
and
coincidental?
all of a sudden you turn to me and you say,
I've been saying
I
for a
wish
little
we
while
never took you
that I
in. It
had
was better when it was
suspected
just
you've been
Brendan.
drugging him.
I'm like, excuse
Maybe that was
me?
weighing on you a little bit.
Then you go into this big long
Maybe
thing
having
about
me around
how I was
isn't
lying
good
again
because
about my cousin.
I was
This
This is the
noticing
medication that you
molesting
ordered
from-
for him from Safeway that he didn't want to take, because I remember that conversation. And also, you also had vertigo at one point too. So you would be very familiar with a drug such as this and what it would do. And he was always just getting into this weirdness. You would just run in there with the pills right away as soon as you would wake up in the morning when I was there. Right away. If you
didn't have access. He would seem fine for a while, and then
after that,
all of a sudden, he would be back in this lethargic state, which was not natural. I know people on drugs, okay? I'm around people on drugs every day. And I'm telling you, I know the difference between a drugged out behavior and somebody who's naturally like that. And he was not naturally going into this state.
Pissing on yourself and not telling anybody because you thought they were busy, to the point where you got sores, deep ones. You were not paying attention to your infection for years, and that's how it got so bad, where you were passing out. My dad was beside himself with worry. I told you back then, when you started saying, or somebody started saying, that there was the urine smelled like boiled eggs or rotten eggs, and I was like, you guys, that's an infection. Like, have the nurses check for that. Duh. You didn't. You just left it. And you could have died. And you didn't care or something. I don't know. So you passed out, and this is why you can't walk. It's not because of MS. It's because you were dizzy. You passed out on the toilet, and when the paramedics were coming in to help you, they fucked up your leg. And that injury didn't heal because of your situation. That's what happened to you.
Yeah.
Instead of being responsible for your health, instead of being responsible for you make him look after you.
He's got 3 kids.
This particular footage is the day he got home from the hospital.
There's 6
Sorry,
kids.
the very next day. Don had driven him home, and then I stayed the night, and I gave him breakfast in the morning, and they had this phone call. This is what my dad was like throughout his stay.
Plan on that slightly later.
And then you did something. I know you did.
It might be a little overwhelming for my emotions. Having everybody there and everybody hugging and talking.
We get used to it, though. We can get used to it. We have to try. Every time you cry, I can zap you.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm thinking. I just don't think I would go good for it. I can't.
How about when you start crying, I spray you with a water bottle or something?
My dad's biggest complaint was depression and not having energy. And he got over both of those things before he got home. And we had plans. Even though he was sappy.
Yeah, right.
Don's a really good friend, eh? He's a good man.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
He's done a lot of good things.
Yeah, we got lots of good friends.
Yeah.
He's going to be in for about 10 days, I believe.
You got white stuff on.
No, he's only
Always.
he's not one
I'm
kid.
covered in paint all the time.
One kid stayed home this time, and one kid's going to stay home this time, I believe. They're not all coming.
Yes, they're all coming.
This time they're all coming in.
Okay, I thought they weren't all coming, but they are all.
Can't just leave one kid home.
Yeah, and that, like I say,
That's creepy.
it's in an apartment. You can't have so many people running around and stuff like that.
They're not children anymore, Dad. They're older.
Oh yeah, and like I say, it's it's 2 bedrooms now. It's not one. I mean, it's 1 bedroom, not 2, and stuff like that. So
Yeah, but they're adults now. Almost.
It'll be,
they're older now. They don't need
a little
to.
hectic,
They're not little babies.
But anyway, like I say, we can work out the gang. We can work out ours. I just gotta figure, this birthday one work out.
You don't have to figure out anything.
Just let it be. Yeah, let it happen.
Just go.
It's good to be home. Boy, I slept in this morning. It was, and it was so nice. It was really nice. I mean, it's only been 7 days or 8 days.
That's a long time.
But it seems like an eternity.
It was an eternity. It was awful. It was super far away too. Sucked.
Yeah, so.
It was a nice room though.
So I'm enjoying myself.
Sounds like it.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Does that?
Okay, we'll be in touch. Yeah, I certainly will. Don will work out in the very near future. Okay, thanks, buddy. Thanks. Bye.
He's like a wicked, awesome friend, you know? Like just a really good guy.
Okay, you want to give me the phone because
Here.
it'll be ringing.
Right?
Or a water pistol. Or I can shock you with electrodes if you want. We can hook you up to something, and every time you get emotional, I'll just zap you. You want that?
Yeah.
We could do that. I could kick you under the table.
Well, right? It's not.
Friends who take this shit and they act like this. That's what they do. So it's hard. It's almost impossible to get through it because it makes you so sentimental. It literally does. It makes you crazily sentimental.
It does. It does. I promise you things that.
Don't worry about that. That's usually, it's no big deal. But like the thing is that, you know, it's hard for you to get through a minute without having, because you can't deal with it. Yeah.
I can't talk on the phone. I can't talk to nobody.
How come nobody listens to me when I say things?
in the hallway and I just go.
Just wait till Christmas carols. You're gonna have, shit's gonna hit the fan then. Tell you what.
I'm not gonna come out of my apartment.
You're gonna just have to just cry. This is just the way it is. But we could start a system if you can't get off the fentanyl.
After this day, it was always dark in that room. And then my brother came in and she told me not to come while my brother was there because it was too much for him.
Emotional, we could condition you. I'm joking. I'm not really going to bear spray.
Tell the truth, I'm not going to know what you're doing.
I don't going to bear spray you or electrocute you. Like, come on now.
There was way too much difference between that and after the party, even during and before the party, just a little bit before. You know what you've done, Mom. You know. When my dad is with me, this is how he is. When my dad is with me, this is how he is. I was told by my brother, don't go there at this time, don't go there at that time, respect Mom and her quietness or whatever the heck. I don't know what that is about, because at the end of the day, when you really think about it, what the fuck is that about? I'm just supposed to go there at night while he's sleeping? Damn right, you know he doesn't get out of bed. He probably never does. Never does. At nighttime. She gave Linda a pill at this party to give to my dad. It was not an enzyme. I don't know what color it was, but I know it was one pill. It's not an enzyme, and he had already had his hydromorph. His mood changed. He became incredibly somber, and of course he was emotional, I'll give her that. But after that day, my father was never the same again. I stayed there the night again, and in the morning he was lethargic. She sent the nurse away. She got her hair washed with his nurse, I think. Shit was weird, man. And I'm telling you, there's something wrong. I'll never be able to prove this, and I'll never be able to get her to admit it, of course not. You know what? She was backed into a corner, okay? Not in a violent way. I asked her what these pills were all about and what she was doing, because why his appetite was so decreased. We're talking December 10th, Christmas. Before Christmas. And he went from December 11th to a fucking zombie. She kept him okay enough for that one day he got home, and then the next day, and then after that, something was going on. I kept asking her, why is he not allowed to get out of bed? She wouldn't let him. She would say he's not well, he's gonna fall. He never fell!
After that first time, where he tripped on his toe a little bit.
For the grandkids, he had plans. We were gonna do walking in the hallways 3 times a week. I was gonna stay there all day. She kept putting him back to bed and telling me not to go. And as soon as she could get her shit together and get it off, she put him in a home.
Don't listen to her. He was good. He had life in him. She stole it. And then blamed me and said things like I was trying to kill her to my brother. That should tell you something, because that never happened. A person who is lying and against the wall and that defensive, that's how they act. That's what she did.
This is me attempting to get some kind of reaction from him. This is the day he supposedly fell. That made the decision for her to put him in hospice. This was, she had told my brother that I had threatened to kill her, so I was not allowed to really go there. I didn't want to go there because I didn't want to get arrested. She was trying to say I was taking pills or something. There was nothing missing, and that I know of anyways. And she was saying all this derogatory stuff. I have another video, and she's talking to me. There's no way. There's just no way. I'll show you the whole day. Like, I didn't record her every, like, note or words or whatever. I didn't record everything, but what I did record was right after, when I asked her about the pills, and it was all deterrent. It was not even looking at the question that I was asking her. Why not the meal plans? Why not the pills? Why not this? Why not that? She was seriously pissed off at me because I brought a bottle of Gaviscon in his room because she had given him orange juice while I gave him a booster juice. After that, he drank the whole thing. She's telling me he's not going to eat. He ate 2 eggs and the whole booster. Said he was like, that was so good. Where'd you get that from? I was trying to do things. My brother stopped me every second. He would call me and tell me the most ridiculous stuff and talk to me like he was my boss. And nobody listened to me. Methadone actually shrinks tumors, they think. And it wouldn't make him like this. Talk to the nurse and tell the nurse, his nurse Richard, that if you put him on methadone instead of fentanyl, he won't be so fucking emotional. Nobody did anything for him at this house. My mom didn't give a shit. I don't care what anyone says. Every time I talked to her about it, she hung up the phone on me. Every time. If you go back to the bedroom, I sucked it up. I sucked everything up. I sucked it up. I'm emotional right now. I am. But this is reality. This was my father and I love him. And she hurt him. I know she did. There was some type of something where she was vengeful. She felt revenge needed to be done. I know my mother serves it cold, man. I know my mother. She'll get rid of you faster than you can freaking think. I was 15, she kicked me out of the house. That's the kind of person she is. I didn't even do anything wrong. I went fishing the night before. It's ridiculous. He was devastated when he went back, when he was figuring out he was in the ambulance. He figured out he was in the ambulance and going there. He almost died. That's how devastated he was. And she kept him immobilized. It's like a freaking Misery or whatever, that Claiborne lady or whatever, Stephen King. It's like that. She was jealous of his attention. He was getting attention. She didn't like it. She likes to be the one that's doted over because for the past 35 fucking years, he's done everything for her. And everyone bows to her every whim, every day. And she likes to make a big play out of not needing anybody and stuff. Bullshit. She wants to be in that apartment by herself, and she's going to ruin my daughter to do it because my daughter won't have time to even scratch her ass, let alone deal with my mother, go to school, and work 2 full-time jobs. She's a sabotager. She's a narcissist. And right now, I'm convinced she's a psychopath or a sociopath, and she's a murderer. That's what I think. My dad said something when he got that pill. Oh, she never forgets those. That's what he said to Linda. I pay attention. I know what's going on. I wish I would have seen the pill. I wish I had contact with these people, but they don't talk to me. My whole family has totally turned their back on me except for my daughters and my son. That's it. Everybody else is thinking I'm some kind of wig nut, I'm nuts, or I'm just some kind of bad person. Maybe they think I'm money motivated or I'm a drug addict. I don't fucking know. But at the end of the day, they are wrong. My brother was wrong to treat me the way he did and not listen to me because this is what happens. I'm not making it up. I'm not trying to do anything. If she was good to him, I would love that. I would look after her because that's what he wanted.
Do you know how hard it is for me right now to do this? Because this was the thing that he didn't want. He protected her. He looked after her. He loved her. He loved her so much. I would love to honor him and be whatever she needed. I have the time. I was ready to do it. I can't do it now. Because one thing, she lied her fucking little she lied. She lied big. Too big. She went too far. She knows she did. So she can't face me. She pads herself with my children so that there's nothing said to her. She will not be able to take this confrontation. I will sit down with her one day. She doesn't have to be afraid of me. She damn well knows that. She's the one that always put the first attack in. All my life she abused me. I never went at her first, not one time. And the only thing I would ever really do to her is subdue her, put her in a closet, keep the doors shut until my dad got home. She was a menace, an abusive, crazy asshole. You don't know her. She beat me regularly. I'm not kidding. When we were kids, it wasn't too bad, around 7, 8, something like that. Prior to that, it was pretty nasty. Kneeling on rice, wooden spoons, hairbrushes. Kind of over the top for like 4-year-olds, I'd think. And then, when I got to be 11, 12, 13, 10, like, wow. She went bananas on me. Okay? Bananas. Forever. All the time. Every day. And blamed it on me all day. I was gaslit. I was told I was a delinquent. You all have no idea. This woman is an evil, demonic, crazy bitch. And my dad, he did everything he could to protect the peace in the house. Instead of confronting her, though, all of us, we placate and we let her get away with it. She has not had to atone for any of her behavior. Not one freaking lick of anything she's ever done. To me, and now to him. And she was abusing him far before this.
The audio on my
She
phone
said
was
evil
always
things. I don't have time to tell you all the stuff she said.
No, that's why there's a lot of stuff.
But I'm telling you, revenge is a dish served best cold, in her opinion. And she did. She might have little secrets too, things she might have seen on the computer, jealousies. Look at her when Dale is hugging him. She got her tongue in her cheek. What is that? That's a hiding of something. She doesn't like it when somebody touches him. She's weird.
My mother has said
that woman was offering her comfort to my dad in a time of crisis. It's not sexual. It's not romantic. It's not cheating. She's fucked in the head.
Elevator. Things that I heard her say to my dad along the lines of right off the hop, saying things like, "Don't get chemo," and "Don't da-da-da-da-da." And meanwhile, has no idea what that is about, and didn't have any time or put any effort into finding any new situation that might have happened. Yeah, they had a friend in the building that died of pancreatic cancer and gave up and everything. That was a little while ago. And besides, it's not him, and every case is different. She knows these things.
I know what you're going through. I do, because I just lost my dad too. It's hard losing a parent. He was my best friend in the whole wide world. I loved him so much. Every day without him is excruciating. I miss him so much. I feel like a little kid that lost their parent, even though I'm 46 years old. I'll be okay eventually, but I miss him so much. I try to do little things to keep my memory of him and let other people know what a great guy he was. I don't think it'll ever be enough. I miss him. I miss him a lot. I'll never not miss him. It's really hard. But if you lost a parent, no matter how old you are,
yeah, they called soldiers, didn't tell them what they were doing.
It's a hard thing.
And they stood there and watched each other. They could see through their bones. Their bones were showing, everything. And they just said, okay, now how do you feel?
If you feel like nobody loves you out there,
been done.
and your parents still love you too.
Molecules or the atoms.
I would hope that scientists would say that.
The whole world would be just go.
One would hope that a scientist would say that to stop them from doing it. They did it anyway, didn't they?
Well, yeah, they did it anyway.
Just pretend that you are here with me.
No, if you do that, then you tell these stupid people that, you know, like, maybe they won't do that.
Sometimes I might tell you I love you and hope that you
Has one called Satan.
hear me. I miss you. I miss you. I miss you. I miss you.
That's what I'm gonna miss the most. These existential conversations, science and philosophy with my dad. He's a really smart guy. She just didn't ever let us talk about anything ever.
I wish that you could have stayed here forever and ever.
If it wasn't something about her or her nurses or her life, she would just stare off or just tell us to be quiet all the time and just control the conversation. So it's gonna suck. It's totally gonna suck because I'm gonna be sitting here and I'm gonna be thinking of something. I'll be like, my dad would know the answer to that, and I'm gonna want to call him and ask him what the answer is, and he won't be there. I woke him up in the middle of the night when I was a kid once just to get Rodney Dangerfield's name. He's like, Rodney Dangerfield. I'll go back to bed. It's like 3 a.m. He could think of it right away. I'm gonna miss him so much. I already do. My dad was my go-to, you know. Dad, I want you to know how much I appreciated you. I hope I told you so many things that I needed. I know I said it. I know I said it. I know I did. I wrote you emails all the time. I know I did. I love you so much. I'm so sorry it all ended up like this.
One guy.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have been like this. I should have been with you when you died. And, if she wasn't going that day, I would have been there already, but I'm glad Stephanie was there. You weren't finding comfort in me anyways because you hated me, so that's what that happened. There's a difference between a good death and a shitty death. You had a shitty death, and I really didn't want you to have a shitty death.
I think it's bioweaponry we need to worry about with these motherfuckers. That's what I think we need to worry about, because it's really bio warfare that is a problem, I think, in this situation.
I'm gonna drive you guys home.
No. We're gonna take the cat home. Go to bed. We're just gonna take the cat home.
No. You're not gonna walk.
We could just take a cab. It's like $9.
That's crazy. Don't waste your time.
Well,
Give me
okay, we'll go.
$9. Let him say.
Sure, okay, I'll give you $9.
Jeez. No, I'm not. No. I want you.
Yeah, we will. Oh, that's where your chair went. I was like, there's no. Oh. You got it set up nice in here. There you go. It does look exactly like that.
I'm always nervous.
What is this?
This is the first time I had been there since about 1.5 years prior, due to the way she had spoken to me, saying the things something, she said. And this is my mom. Like, she's laying in bed or helpless.
You
right?
think it's gonna fall
Look
off
at
the
her.
wall.
You know, she can't close the window. He's got to come close the window. I had to train her to hold
Tension
the
works
phone,
better.
make sure she had the phone whenever he went out, because
Yeah, the tension works
it's
better.
not safe if you don't have the phone. You know,
If you
or
put it
at
in the roof,
nighttime,
it would just fall off the roof.
anything could go wrong.
Exactly.
And it took me months to train her to do that, and to make sure that they were doing it. And even then, she forgot. She's trained now. She got that down now. But this is how she likes it. You know, she likes to be the one that everyone's doting after and everyone's looking after. That's the role, and that's how she likes it. She did not like it that my dad was sick, and but all of a sudden she had to be,
we will.
not had to be, she's going to be the one that takes care of him? That didn't make any sense. Right from the beginning, it didn't make sense. I mean, come on. I need to be there. I need to help. I need to do things. And you didn't let me. She didn't let me.
Burgers or send out for chicken or anything.
Okay.
Because that's what Steph and Brooke do. They come over and we, you know.
Yeah, it would have worked out. It was just like, I don't know, today was a weird day. So anyways, if I make plans, I end up with a weird situation. So anyways, okay, but we'll come back more. Okay, so we'll see you, and if you need anything, just call, okay? Because we're there. And if the phone doesn't, if nobody answers it, like, he's got a phone number too. Yeah. And just keep calling, because just don't worry about being a bother or whatever. If I don't answer it, I don't know you're calling. So just continually call, okay? All right, okay. We'll talk to you later.
Night, Nana.
I like your shoes. Where'd you get those? Shoes.
Yeah, you're right. You did. Actually, I'm starting to remember now. Have to use all?
Touches my foolish heart. Lovely, never change. Keep that breathless charm. Won't you please?
Came in from a rainy Thursday on the avenue. Thought I heard you talking softly, yeah. I turned on the lights, the TV and the radio. Still I can't escape the ghost of you. What has happened to it all? Crazy, some would say. Where is that life that I recognize? Gone away, and I won't cry for yesterday. There's an ordinary world somehow I have to find. And as I try to make my way to the ordinary world, somehow I will survive. Passion or coincidence once prompted you to say
too. It's useless iPad, eh? With pen open. Oh, you got it. Remember the code. Remember the code 0606. Exactly. Punch it in 20 times and
Ours is just a little sorrow talk.
that's pretty good. So why don't they tweet you
Yesterday, there's an ordinary world. Somehow I have to find. And as I try to make my way to the ordinary world, somehow I will survive. Oh, somehow I will survive and find my way. And I won't cry for yesterday. It's an ordinary world. Somehow I must
My father deserved the best in life. And at his end, he deserved the truth about me and the truth about his wife. And he didn't deserve to be put in that place because there was enough people that would have taken care of him. And if that was proving too difficult for my mother, then a hospice nurse should have been brought in. They aren't that expensive. They really aren't. He wanted to die at home. He was promised that he would be allowed to die at home. And here he lays. If not for my daughter, I don't think he would have even managed at all. I was just trying to protect my dad because something was going on that shouldn't have been going on. And if I do manage to prove, or it comes to light, what I think happened, it won't be let go. It won't. Because it caused an end-of-life damage so great that this is the opinion my father has of me, who did not threaten his wife, who did not hurt her, who only went there to help them both, and who was totally trying to just figure out why she was ignoring his food intake and why she was keeping the door shut when somebody who was depressed was trying to not be depressed. This is what was happening. More than once, it was a pattern that was repeating, and she knows better. So when I saw it the second time, I was like, that's enough. I have to figure this out. And she got upset over that because she's defensive because she did it. And that's the bottom line of it. And she went to this degree and said these things to that degree because she cannot turn back on it now. She did such a dastardly thing for so long that she has to have a fall guy for it. And I have been the person that's take the punches the whole entire time. What do they call it? Scapegoating again. I'm the scapegoat. Hi, my name's Sherry. I'm Marlene's scapegoat. And then I become everybody else's scapegoat too. My father hates me now. When I go to touch him, and if he knows it's me, he turns over. If he knows it's me, he'll pull his hand away and he'll yell to the top of he can. I don't provide him any comfort anymore. Mainly because people lied and told him things. Brendan, if you told him things and you're not sure of those things and you don't know that those things happened, you shouldn't have done that. Not once did you come to me to ask me what happened. You just simply took word for rumor and you spread that rumor to a dying man. And now I can never change that. That's what he died with. That's a big deal because that's my best friend, you guys, that you messed with. That's my dad. That's my guy. That's my relationship. My dad. You don't get to do that with a confused person who can't even be told the truth at this point because I don't want to break his brain or his heart. You're just evil. That's what this was. I don't think a demon could have done any better than you. Sickening. You should be confessing now, Mom, at least to some people. You should not continue this. It's not fair. And it's not nice. And you're lying. You're outright like carrying. You're a Karen. That's what you're doing. You don't even know what that means, do you? It means when someone acts and behaves the way you did, under a threat when they're not. And potentially, a Karen is generally the person that causes the most trouble. At the end of all of this, my father and I should have just left the first time and not gave into everyone saying you'll regret it and whatever, because when I exited it, I did that for him the first time, and I wouldn't have seen all that, and I just would have been the ignorant asshole, and he wouldn't really have hated me. I don't think. We would have just told him I was sick And he wouldn't have known any better, and that would have been the end of it. God, can you please explain to him the truth? Because this hurts. I don't deserve it because I really love my dad. He didn't deserve this either, because I was prepared to take care of him, and I don't know why jealousy or what comes into play here, but it wasn't right. And that's the woman. So don't support her after this. Don't take care of her. Don't nestle her fall. Don't. She deserves what she gets. Sometimes we have to give people their just dessert. Otherwise, they will never learn. I have children. She's messing with them now. And she's trying to triangulate things and put everything on Stephanie like she did with others. Don't let her do that. Stephanie already has to withdraw from one of her classes because it's too much for her to handle. My parents should have never put that kind of pressure on my daughter. She's going to school. She has 2 jobs. She's in school full time and she has 2 full-time jobs. She works at a bank all day, and she has a restaurant job, and she goes to school full-time. And she's pretty much been whatever my parents have needed. And my brother barking orders. I can just imagine. He treats people like employees. She's just so much... She loves her grandpa, and she wouldn't say no. And she's in trouble because of it now. She has to start over. That's not fair because she was getting A's. Okay? Don't placate to this woman because she'll just keep going. Hold her accountable. And don't blame me. I'm not the one that did anything. I was only merely looking for answers. Answers that should have been answered a long time ago. And my brother should have never stuck up for that. And my brother should have never done a lot of things. But because he's not a medical guy, and my mom is... She's all about that stuff. She knows all about it. All about it. Which is scary, how much she knows.
What if they're all wrong?
Coming to you. Please wait for me. I'll be there soon. I'll be there soon. Wait for me. I'll be your comfort. I will hold you close to me. I will be your bravery. I will make sure that you depart this world safely, even though I don't wanna let you go. I don't wanna let you go. I don't wanna let you go. No, I don't wanna let you go. But I know I have to let you so. I have to let you go. If I don't let you go, I'll keep you here, trapped between these worlds. I'm coming soon. I'm coming soon to you. Oh, Dad, wait for me. Wait for me. I'm coming to you soon. Even though I don't wanna let you go, I know today's the day that you're gonna have to leave. You're gonna go away. You're gonna leave this hurt gonna leave this place, and you will be in His grace, yeah. Oh, don't wanna let you go.
I didn't make it. I was on the phone with my daughter and he passed away. I was on my way, but I knew he was going to die. I thought it would be a few hours, but
This will be the third. Maybe when the physiotherapist gets you up and you're walking around, it will be better. Because when you move your legs and stuff, because the physiotherapist is going to come, I think, and take you for walks tomorrow. So maybe once you're moving, it'll be easier to go to the bathroom. Yeah, because that's what they do. I know with the kids when they had to go to the bathroom or they had stuck, it was he made it. Stop. That's right. Okay, so Dad, what she wants you to do, Dad, what you have to do is you have to call them when you're about to move into another room or do something, okay? Otherwise, they'll get in trouble if something happens to you. Okay? So when you're done at the bathroom, or if you have to go to the bathroom, you have to call them, okay? And that's not because you're... I was gonna put cream on him. And it's like she doesn't want me to touch him. She's fucking crazy. What? This is likely the last time I'll be here.
just crossed her, yeah.
Unless he calls for me.
You're doing great. You're back.
I don't know. He still was thirsty and taking water, so. I don't think you do that when you're.
Good look. I like the beard.
Like bones.
I like the beard.
Just
good
bones.
with a beard.
He lays there with his mouth staring at the ceiling, but he knows who I am. He knows what's going on. Tried to tell him we bought him a star, but he didn't understand.
I don't know who Miss Miller is.
My eyes always water.
Okay, 5 minutes-ish.
I thought it was 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, that was a lie.
This is a pretty tree.
And then, yeah, it will stop at 7-Eleven for you.
Okay. 7-Eleven. Shit, I need more money than 20. Fuck. As they should, I guess, because, that's the whole idea is to keep you safe, so.
God, keep me safe.
Yeah, I mean, it'll just be as long as it'll be, I suppose,
Don't see anyone there with me, and I'm lonely.
When tomorrow starts without me, and I'm not there to see, if the sun should rise and find your eyes all filled with tears for me, I wish so much you wouldn't cry the way you did today, while thinking of the many things we didn't get to say. I know how much you love me, as much as I love you, and each time that you think of me, I know you'll miss me too. But when tomorrow starts without me, Please try to understand that an angel came and called my name and took me by the hand and said my place was ready in heaven far above, and that I'd have to leave behind all those I dearly love. But as I turned to walk away, a tear fell from my eye. For all my life I'd always thought I didn't want to die. I had so much to live for, so much left yet to do. It seemed almost impossible that I was leaving you. I thought of all the yesterdays, the good ones and the bad. I thought of all the love we shared and all the fun we had. If I could relive yesterday, just even for a while, I'd say goodbye and kiss you, and maybe see you smile. But then I fully realized that this could never be, for emptiness and memories would take the place of me. And when I thought of worldly things I might miss come tomorrow, I thought of you, and when I did, my heart was filled with sorrow. But when I walked through heaven's gates, I felt so much at home. When God looked down and smiled at me from his great golden throne, he said, "This is eternity, and all I've promised you. Today, your life on earth is past, but here, life starts anew. I promised no tomorrow, but today will all was lost. And since each day is the same, there's no longing for the past. You have been so faithful, so trusting, and so true. Though there were times you did some things you knew you shouldn't do. But you have been forgiven, and now at last, you're free. So won't you come and take my hand, and share my life with me? So when tomorrow starts without me, don't think we're far apart. For every time you think of me, I'm right here in your heart."
They were, yes, they were. There's more. I just grabbed what was available. I'm
I
pretty
know
sure.
they come in huge sets, so.
These here. So it's like all different skin tones, eh? Because you were gonna do those characters or whatever, like Monroe or whatever. So this would be lips or cheeks. There's sort of a lip or cheek. It's just skin.
If I had been allowed, that's disgusting. If I had been honored enough, respected enough to be able to do what I wanted to do, I would have had
You need like a thingy though.
a couple of those treatment plans in play. Definitely would have done the antifungal, antiparasitic, and antibiotic. That's number one. Would have been hands down first thing I did. Then I would have made sure the dietitian was in, and at least he was getting nutrients so that he could, just be strong enough throughout. If he couldn't eat, fine. That's no problem. But we'll deal with it. I did get those enzymes to him right away. I did get him to cancer care right away. We would have had a meeting with the oncologist. We would have had some dental aspect because that's something to do with the meridian scale. And we would have, as a family, sat at a table with him or without him and made decisions, viable decisions, as a family. And I would have been able to do art with him, and we would have put money aside because I didn't have any at the time. I would have bought all this stuff. I really would have. We would have had things comfortable, sitting up so that he was raised so that he could draw and do those things. He would have had motivation. I would have had no move take place.
My brother and his chaos would have come in less, taken some pressure off of him as well. I would have handled Dad's medical. My brother would have handled the financial. And my mother would not have been able to deter me, and I would not have been hung up on.
Like he's juggler, it's all melting.
My dad would have respect for me because you know what? Out of all of this, I would have saved, not me just, but God. God is responsible because I asked God for help, and his life would have been spared. I know this. I know this. Deep inside me, I know this.
Your diabetes thing.
And if it wasn't that, it would have been the nano knife. We would have had more time. He would have felt better. Things would have been better. His body was healthy other than this. Healthy as a horse.
Just eat whatever?
Just this one
You're
thing.
still allowed to eat whatever?
Ever.
Yeah? Yeah. Are you still allowed to eat whatever?
Yeah.
At the end, my father had no
So they didn't
love
say no
for
sugar?
me at all. He was done. His faith in me was gone. My dad had the most faith in me than anybody in the world. And my mom took that away from me.
But if your blood sugar
My brother took that away from me. That's all I had from this family
And if
was
you can't
him.
control the insulin or whatever, you could have troubles. There's not good. So,
He was the only
I mean,
good
it's not
thing
the
about
first
it,
and most worry, but
honestly.
it can be.
Yeah.
Sugar might be scary. But there's lots of stuff with NutraSweet in it in the morning that you can have.
If that didn't work, we would have done the
bring
nano
stuff like
knife
that?
and we would have cut that motherfucker out of
Maybe
his
different
system, and
breakfast,
that
like
would have been
eggs
the end
don't
of
be
it.
sugar, so-
And he would have
No.
gotten an alcohol injection, and he wouldn't have been so high on fentanyl.
I like that.
And so therefore he would have been maybe
How
in
about
more
honey?
control of his emotions.
Are you
And we
allowed
would
to
have
have
done things.
I haven't seen it.
If you haven't noticed, we laughed a lot when it was
Honey,
just
stuff,
us.
you've got everything.
I would have made sure I had more time with him by myself because these people ruined it.
With honey?
I felt I had to be so defensive
Well,
of him.
it is either that or nothing, so.
Just didn't respect him at all.
Yeah, I don't know.
My brother's just robotic. This is how he
You
is.
have to expect some changes, though, Dad, right? Like, with certain
Oh,
things.
yeah, I know, I understand.
Can't be too
I do
stubborn
okay.
about all that.
I do okay.
But everything is fucked up.
Yes, so far. So far, it's
And
looking
she
good.
said to me she was going to do that. She said, you won't get a dime. A couple years ago, she said that when I was
How
trying to
come
help
this radio
her.
station's so like
help
down
her
home jamboree
from me.
lately. Like,
Her-
I've never heard it like that ever.
I was there at her service and his service.
See,
It
that's
makes
sort of
no
a Toby
sense. It
shade,
really
too.
doesn't.
That's sort of a Toby shade.
Some of them are cartoons,
Just doesn't.
some of them are catty.
Doesn't look like Toby. That's definitely him when he was a kitten, for sure.
No.
That's totally what he looked like. Actually, this is sort of his face. That's his face right there. Hey, that's his face. Like, minus some of the crap.
My mom kept him isolated, unfed, barely water, if that. Like a bottle was always there, present. I guess she would help him, I suppose. She kept me away. She wanted me only to go there from 9:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. or a.m. in the morning. That's just through the night. So I'd be staying up awake for no reason. There's absolutely no reason. He didn't need me there overnight like that. He didn't need pain medication at the time. He didn't need anything. He slept. He slept and slept and slept and slept and slept and slept. And that's all he did. From the time that November 11th had passed, or sorry, December 11th had passed, boom, that was it. I didn't see my dad awake again. Ever since then. That's for real. She did something because this is how he was. This in this hospital, he's heavily medicated here. Okay? I've got another thing I'll show you in a minute. Heavily medicated, as much as to the nines. And he's not even halfway. She must have been giving him anti-anxiety or gravel or all, or some type of anti-nausea or whatever on top of what he was already having. And mixed with what he had, it probably hit him pretty hard. I want to say it's called a geriatric, like, keep them stationary so they don't get up drug. And I bet you anything she was giving him that during the daytimes as well. During the daytimes where he was supposed to be up and moving. If you look at the thing for pancreatic cancer, you're supposed to move. You have to move. You have to keep the system going. I told them so many things. Get on to, if you're not going to listen about anything else at all, do not take fentanyl, take methadone. Okay? Do that, and then after that, instead of
He picks good dogs, bad
bullshitting
cats.
around with everything,
Doesn't listen.
move. You need to move. And I will come during the day. When he was in the hospital the first time, I thought, oh gosh, it's the end. But you know what? He got a positive attitude in there. After about 6 days or so, maybe 5,
Yeah.
we were on our way. We were going to, whatever time he had left was going to be, it was going to matter. It was going to mean something. He was going to do something with it. I was even going to let him drive. He was good enough. I swear to God. He was good enough. I would have let him drive one more time to the store. One more time. We would have gone to Kildonan Place. I would have let him in like a daytime.
You don't want them not to go on without you. But fuck you all for going on without me. You know what I mean? Like, that to me is just nasty. I know what you mean. It's not a nice thought. Like, you should all be coming with me. We're a family, aren't we? I mean, let's go. And I do feel that with you for sure. I always said before, you know, when you go, I'm jumping in and they can just put the mud over top because I don't want to be here without you. And that's very true. But I don't know how, you know, okay that is with everybody else either. But I don't want to go on without you. I don't. Life will be different for all of us without you here. It won't just carry on and we won't just be happy and moving forward. There's going to be a humongous hole, just a huge hole there. Especially for, you know, it'll hit Mom at weird hours of the night and things like that, or during the day. She tends to take some of it and just compartmentalize it and try to just, you know, stick through. And she's had a lot of stuff that she's good at stuffing it wherever the hell she stuffs it. And, you know, but I mean, she's not a robot. She feels it. It's not like, you know. But don't think for a second that all the things that you've done for her or whatever, all of a sudden, you know, she doesn't need it. She didn't need it, because this is just a momentum and it will run to its course. So we're all having to stand by and make sure, you know, because it will pivot. It will come back down to where it comes. It'll settle. She's on an adrenaline, really, is what it is right now, because she has to be on survival mode. And so it seems like it's all very easy, but it's not. She's gonna end up hitting a wall right away. And don't think that, you know, well, maybe everyone else doesn't, but I know people and I know what's gonna happen with her. So she will. I know. So when that happens, then, you know, we'll be there to catch her when she falls, because she will. And I don't mean physically. I mean emotionally, when this all catches up with her. And her body isn't, you know, trying to be as competent as it is seemingly right now. She's using a lot of her residual strength. I mean, there's like at the moment, but which is good, and she, you know, she needs to, but she's going to be okay in terms of the fact that she's got a support network, and it's already been in play for a long time. You know, so like she, no matter what goes on, like, you know, all of her family could die tomorrow, and she would still have, you know, a support network. It would be there. So regardless, she's fine. It's like literally we could all just be off the face of the earth and she'd just be fine. It's all in play, but it was you I was worried about, you know, because I didn't think that you had very much support, and you didn't. You just didn't, and that's it's just the way it turned out. That's what I'd be mad at if I was you, though. I'd be like so pissed off at my fucking GP and my family doctor. I'd be so mad at him. I am so mad at him. I was trying to get him to stand for her, you know, because you know what? Your symptoms were incredibly, you had 3 symptoms that are standard for pancreatic cancer. Standard. Anybody who has a medical degree would know that. Maybe 7 years ago or 8 years ago or whatever, it was a little different. Maybe they didn't know that stuff, but they did by the time you had it.
They should have.
No, they should have. Just certain things like that that's just like irritating, but patience, too much patience. But yeah, the point, I think, of grief is to know what it is and to resolve those things in yourself as well. Because if it hurts for people to continue on, it's okay to acknowledge that. It's okay to be like, you know, I'm leaving and that's sad and I'm watching everybody's just okay without me. And it's like, but the thing is that we're not. Like, in some ways, yes, we are, but in a lot, we're not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you add more color to the picture. You know what I mean? And so now all the oranges and the yellows are gone and the greens are not there anymore. You know what I mean? And it's not fucking, it's made it an uglier picture. The Magnificent Sevens. You can fall asleep, it's okay. Close your eyes, close your eyes. You're feeling very sleepy.
This is as medicated as you can get. Like, lots.
Hey. You want it lowered? More? More or no? More? Up a bit more? There? Okay. And you don't want the fan on? No? Kisses? I'll be leaving probably in about 2 seconds. I just gotta wait for her to, and then, yeah, so it'll, yeah, right away. Right away.
Considering it was like a plan to send him off to hospice the last time, she could have at least sent his mouth water, like to keep his mouth wet, and his alarm clock and his watch and those things that he required that I spent all that money on, you know, that he was using those. They were very important and they made him feel better. He just went with nothing. It was awful. Why send him with nothing? You had all this time. You knew exactly what you were doing. You fucking knew. Why didn't you pack a bag, for fuck's sakes?
So it's your hearing aids you're missing. Here, lift up your head a bit. There we go. There. It's your hearing aids you're missing, right?
Okay.
So, you want me to bring them next time I come? Or they don't work, or what's up?
Well,
Battery?
The battery charger.
Do you know where that is?
No, I don't. I hope to find it.
Are they expensive, a battery charger for a hearing aid? Yeah. Where do you buy them if you have to?
Oh, you buy them at the
Shoppers Drug Mart or something like that, or
Costco.
Costco usually, yeah. I don't have a membership there though. Where else do they sell them?
No. Well, don't worry about it. They work okay. They just have to be charged. I have to find them and charge them and bring them in.
But you don't know where the charger is.
It's around there.
It's around there. You just have to look for it. What does it look like?
Looks like a long silver cigar.
Oh, okay. I think I know what that is. I don't know where it is, but I know what it is. Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll find it.
Okay. So Stephanie is likely to be able, I think, I'm not promising anything, she might be able to visit you by tomorrow because she's negative COVID. And I talked to her today. I don't know for sure, though. She might have to go 2 or 3 more days before she can come. I'm not sure exactly how that's going to work. But, okay, so there's that. And Mom said she's going to come. So I will come back. Would you want me to come back tomorrow?
If you want.
No, I want you to tell me what you want me to do.
Well, as Mom's here, then you don't have to come.
Well, of course not. But she's not going to be coming tomorrow.
No.
That's too soon. They won't have. Well, they might. Who knows? Like I'll check with her first. But
well, if you want, you can take the day off, and then we'll see. Somebody.
No, but I don't want you to be here with nobody. But you're going to be doing your physio tomorrow, so you might be tired.
What video?
Physio. You're going to start physio tomorrow.
I think we don't know when you're coming. They might come when you're here.
Well, they'll come during the daytime before 4 o'clock, obviously. So, I mean, if you're going to be exhausted from that, do you want me to call first?
You can do that, or they might not even know.
They do know. They always know. They're very good about you here. They know exactly what's going on with you. Which is great, because every time I'm on the phone, they're like, yep, I know who you are. I know who your dad is. I'm like, fuck, that's so amazing. Thank you. Because it's nice to know that they know that you're not just some number in this hallway. That's nice. Okay, so what do you want me to do? I'll come if you want me to come.
You can call me tomorrow.
I'll call you. Okay, we'll see how you're feeling. Okay. Sounds good. It's pretty obvious. He doesn't want Mother and me in the same place.
So this is before he even went home. Like, way before. This is the first time he was at the hospice. So she never had any intention. And that's why she wanted him back there. And that's why she was trying to get everyone to think he was senile when he went in there the first time. Don't you think it's weird that he called it a hotel? You know exactly what he meant.
Hi, for Glenn Chalmers. East Wing, I think.
Yeah, 3 East.
3 East. 11. Room 11, yeah.
Room 11.
There. I'm assuming you're my Uber, okay? Hi.
Hello.
Yes. It's not COVID, I'm just saying.
One of those nights when I got home, I was so sick. I guess fibromyalgia and stress, it doesn't go good. I had such huge flu symptoms. Not that night, I don't think. I laid down on my bed and I thought, holy crap. And even feeling like that, it doesn't matter. I would still do it. So she was just playing with me. It just occurred to me now, when I'm listening back to him not wanting us in the same room and stuff, that's because whatever was going on. Because she hung up on me, most likely, and I probably got mad at her. Also, I was pissed off that she even sent him there in the first place. Like, I lived down the street. Like, he didn't break a bone.
He's not like, she didn't want him there. Bottom line. And we don't get to do that. We don't get to be, oh, well, I don't want him here, so he has to go now. He pays rent there. He lived there. He's your husband. That's his last wish. You promised him. And then you turn around and you do exactly the opposite. And again, after every one of them told me to shut my mouth about things that would help, procedures that would do, all of it, I was told to shut up and respect his wishes. And then they turn around and literally do the exact opposite of what they told me to do. And this takes action. Like, my stuff was, I would do somewhere in the area of 60 to 80 hours, like a week of research going through. You have no idea. I would have to look at real, like, medical data and stuff like that. Real, and the terminology is insane. I had to use a dictionary, a real doctor. I think that there was a dictionary called Doctor something. Anyway, I had to look up, like, every third word. Like, seriously, it took forever to get through this stuff. Map it out, figure out what was pertinent, what wasn't, figure out what was inclusive to him, what was going on that I know of his history. Like, did he have dandruff? That was like an accumulating factor. It had something to do with it. And it did, after all, too. I know exactly what happened.